So the first chord starts 10th fret on the A string. That's actually going to be the root. Then you're going to want to put your index finger on the 9th fret of the G string. All right. Yeah, that's just a G6, the root and the 6th. Now, the next two notes, they look like they're, I don't know, separate, you know, because we're looking left to right horizontally. But they're actually part of the same shape. So it's like you'll put your ring finger and pinky on the 12th fret of the D and B string. So basically you have all those notes held under your left hand, even though they're not played all at the same time in the song. Cool? Got that? Right on. So then what he does is he plays the first two notes, the A and the G string as the first chord. Obviously, it's a broken chord. And then follows that with the D and B string. So we have... And then he taps on the 15th fret of the high E. So we have this now. Like that. And he might even pick it over the finger. I'll check it out on the video. With the right hand. And I actually, in the video I saw, I don't think he had a pick in his hand. He's just doing it with his fingers like this. Now as to which, if he used his thumb, like that could be a way. So that would be like this. Cool. I typically like to play with a pick in my hand. So if I can play this with a pick in my hand, I'll do that. And so if that's the case, then I use my pick on the A string and my middle finger on the G string. And then I use my pick and my ring finger on the D and B string. So it's like... And if that's the case, then when I play this note, this might be a little bit much, but what I do is I take the pick from being between my index finger and thumb, and I put it in my middle finger and thumb, and use the index finger to press the note, and then the thumb and middle finger to pick it like this. So that would be... There might be an easier way to do that. Like that. Oh, a little tricky. Might be an extra step. I'm not sure how wise it is. But that's how I would do it. See how that is? It's not so bad at the speed that you hear the recording there. If it were faster, that's about as fast as I could do it. Then, of course, if your action is good, like low, you can probably just tap it. Like that was plenty loud. Like that. That's probably what I'll do for now. Okay, so that's one chord. That's a G6-9. The 9 I don't see a 9 in it, but that's what it says in the book, G6, 9. I see a 6. We got the root, the 6, then we just have a 5th and a 3rd. And the tapped note is the root. So it says 6, 9, whatever. It's just 6. So next chord, it says C6, 9. So that's going to be with the... you could do this, you know what? My temptation normally is I would do this with my pinky on the 15th fret, index finger barring the 12th, and ring finger on the 14th fret, G string. And then plucking the A, D, G, and high E. But let me check, because there's a chance Holdsworth might be doing it with his ring finger. Yeah, it looks to me like he's using his ring finger and middle. So instead of like this, I think he's doing it like this, which is actually a lot more comfortable for me. Yeah, ring finger. So it'll be on the A, D, G, and high E. And the frets will be 15, 12, 14, and then the high E string will be 12. And then that 14th fret repeats. So it's like this. Oh, sorry. Like that. So you have the chord and then that one note, like a melody note. Then the whole chord shifts down to being the 12, 9, 12, 10. Same strings, just different frets. 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, and 10. So these two chords, according to the book, C6, 9. So let me investigate that. Yeah, that's a 6, 9. It goes root, and then the 9, the 6th, and then the 3rd up top. And the chord that followed that, it says is a G9, G/9. I think this is the way of marking it as an inversion. The low note is the 9. It's not technically an inversion because an inversion has to be chord tones, and that's a scale tone. But it's starting on the 9, then the 3rd of the chord, the root, and the 5th of the chord. So this is gonna be tricky. It was like, oops. Yeah, I'm gonna repeat that a few times. Try again. That's pretty cool. In my mind, I'm just shifting down. Yeah. Like that, exactly. 10th fret on the high E. And I do that with my middle finger. So the fingering I'm using here is on the C6, 9. I'm doing ring, index, middle, and then the index again with the bar. Then when I move down here, I shift the whole hand down 2 frets, and I move and I pick up my pinky. My middle finger, because I'm going to place that on the 10th fret like that. So I go, and I put my pinky on the 12th fret of the G string. You know what else is kind of cool about this little progression here, just of those two chords? Is that in a sense it's going from a C chord to a G chord. That'd be like a 1-5 chord progression. So you could maybe use this, you know, everyday life, even though the chords seem really weird, unlike anything I've played before. Certainly this shape I've not done. And if I think of this as being a G chord, even though the low note is a 9, this would be your bass player down here. A lot of tune. But that's where the root would be, down there. So that's kind of a cool 1-5 progression. All right, so the whole thing so far, we got this. Then the next part. Wow, that's really cool. I'll try that again. Let's try and do it with the pick. I'm gonna try the hammer on again. There we go. I added one note in there. All right. There you go. It's coming together. Try it again. I feel like if I repeat that a few more times, it'll be almost normal feeling. All right. Oh boy. So, I'm going to check out the next part. The next part is 10th fret. That's going to be barred for sure. Index finger. And then it goes to 11, 10, 12. These are on the D, G, and B string, by the way. 10th fret, and then 11, 10, 12. And the pinky then reaches up to the 15th fret. That's cool. Like that. Kind of a stretch there between the ring finger and the pinky. The 12th fret and 15th. But overall, this feels easier than the last ones. So this is between an F chord. I can see that. And a G7 flat 5. I can see that as well. That's actually kind of cool. You could look at that as like being used in a 4, like a 4/5, right? Like F to G. So, yeah, actually all of this is actually pretty, basically kind of diatonic so far. We've got a C chord to a G chord. That's like a 1/5. And then the F chord to the G chord, which is like a 4/5. So think about this, a chord progression that, you know, we might play like this. That's essentially the chord progression that Holdsworth is playing, except, you know, he plays it the way Holdsworth would have. Again, that would be. And then, so, next, we've got the 10th fret on the D and B string only. So that's with a bar. And then the 13th fret on the high E. I'm going to do that with my, you know, he probably did with his ring finger, because he just came from the 15th with his pinky, like this. Yeah, that's probably what he would have done. Then the then he sorry, got a message there. Then after that, that 10th fret on the B string repeats. Followed by the next chord. That was all an F chord, by the way. Those two, this one note chord really that's just got a repeated note in it. That's an F chord, and actually, you know what you can see that as? If this is like, you think of an F chord like a bar chord, these notes would be within your relative minor pentatonic. So like if you were to play these notes, D minor pentatonic, meaning like your pinky on the root of F, that'd be like where that could be seen or where it's coming from. That one could be used in ordinary life. I mean, although it's not much on its own. But within context, let me message somebody here. It looks like they want to join in. We're checking out that song Home. So far we got to the last chord of the first staff. We haven't done that one yet. So I'm going to post this later anyway. So anything that if anybody joins late, anything that they miss, we could follow along from there. Pretty wild stuff. So far, we got this here. We got this G6 chord. Oops, it's kind of loud. Followed by the C 6/9, and then G 9. That's like the half of the first staff. There we go. And yeah, actually, one thing that's kind of cool is that's like a G to C to G, and then after that there's F to G7 flat 5. So the way that worked was the 10th fret barring the D, G, and B string, and then the 11th, 10th, and 12th, and the pinky reaches up to the 15th. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what I went through that a moment ago. Where I was talking about. I'm working from this book, which actually seems quite good. But you have it? Open it up. Yeah, the funny thing is, like, what we got here is we'd have a G chord, C chord, G chord, F chord, oops, G chord. Like, could be any country song or folk song. Anyway, so let's see. Where we left off, we had an A9 chord. That's going to be 14th fret, 11th fret, 14th fret. That'd be on the A, D, and G string. On the last chord of the first staff. And the middle finger on the 12th fret. This is actually the same shape we did for the G9. What we did over here. Now it's going to be the same shape. It's just up a whole step. Starting from the 9th of the A. All right, so now with the whole staff here, we got this. Whoop. There we go. And then that's hard. That's gonna take some work. Okay, so our next staff here, we got the 14th fret barred. That's the A triad, starting from the 5th. And then the 18th and 17th fret, and followed by the 19th. And although I'd be really tempted to play it like this, we'd have to tap that, and that'd be really hard. And it's followed by another tap, so I think you actually have to do this one like that. And then he taps on the 21st fret. There we go. Oh boy, I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. There we go. Wow. Okay. Try that again. Oof. I'm going to try that over and over again, but with the next chord afterwards, which is that's a B9, by the way. Let's see how that works out. How is that oh no, that was over the A. This is an E. Right, we got our 3rd. There's an 11 there. And this note is the root. And then this pinky way up on the 19th fret, that's going to be the 5th of the chord. Doesn't play it all at once, though. He plays the A bar chord with the index finger, then those two notes on the D and B string with the ring finger and middle finger. And then you have that 19th fret at the end afterwards. Oh yeah, I think I skipped something. So after that, you got the 16th, 14th, 16th, and 19th, like this. That's when the tap comes in, on the 21st. Wow, there we go. Okay, so that staff so far, we got this. And then, oh, that's so hard. Oh, let me do that again. Let me see if I can pick that one. That definitely gives me more volume. I feel like I'm not getting the... I want it to be that audible if I can. So what I do there is I do that trick where I'm using my hybrid picking with the pick in my hand. And then I switch the fingers to fret with the index finger and pluck with the middle finger. Not easy. There we go. But I feel like I get a better sound than I did when I hammer on. It just sounds so faint, and I don't know, I'm not pulling that off. So I'm going to try the picking way. And then the next one is a D. That one was a B9. So that's actually kind of clear. You can see this. That's a B7 chord. And the pinky then is actually the root. Oh, the tap is the 9. There we go. The tap is the 9. Interesting. So you could just do this as a B7 chord. I've never done that as a dominant chord. And that's easy to remember too. So this would be like a C dominant. Oops. There you go. Hard at the low frets because the stretch is huge. D dominant. E dominant. F dominant. G dominant. Now it's getting easier because the frets are getting huge. I'm going to see if I can use that one in my, life. Like if I can pull that out of the page. And then the tap, or the right hand, is the 9. Okay, and the chord after that is a D7 / C sharp. That's really intense. Okay, so 11th fret on the D and G string, the 15th fret on the B string, and the 17th fret on the high E. That's cool. Now, they say this is a D7 / C sharp, which, it's kind of that doesn't make sense, right? That'd be like a dominant chord with a major 7 and a flat 7, just 3 half steps in a row. But I recognize this from being the pentatonics. Like if you had your pentatonic, if you played a D sharp minor pentatonic, and then you play it in 3 note per string, that's where you can, is that right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. This wouldn't even apply to that. I don't know what this is, where this came from. So I'll have to think about that chord later. That's really wild. I'm going to try the whole, that's half of the staff. Or maybe a little more than half. So I'm going to try that so far. 14th fret, 18 and 17, the 19th with the pinky, and then that chord. That's so good. Wow. Oh man. Let's try that again. Oh, okay. Getting a little better. I really want to, if I can, I'd like that. I want all those to ring out as long as possible. Whew. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm using the index finger on the 11th fret, D and G string, ring finger and pinky on the 15th and 17th. I could see this like an E minor, like from the E minor pentatonic, except with the 6 and the 9. That's a way I could use this in real life. Outside of this piece. If I tried to pull it from the page and had an E minor chord, somebody played E minor, instead of playing those voicings that I just hate to hear myself play, like that one. Could do this instead, which is not a big deal. Then I could do this, which makes sense. That's not a big leap of the imagination. And then this, that I could use over E minor. And actually, I guess I could do it over a dominant chord, like an E7, but it would have a 4th on top. I don't know. It's tricky to use. The way I hear it, it sounds so pretty, kind of like a, happy or majory or something. But I guess then maybe if I thought, oh, how about this? Think of it as a major, a G major chord, where you've got the 5th and a 9 on top. That means that your index finger would be playing the sharp 11, like Lydian, and the major 7. Like that. Sounds out of tune.